Hi guys, and welcome to another unboxing and first impressions. Today we'll be unboxing a new diver from Aerotec. I already featured one of their models, the bronze diver, on my channel, but this is their new model done in titanium, and they'll be launching on Kickstarter pretty soon, and I'll leave the link in the description so you can sign up to get notified once the Kickstarter campaign launches, because the savings are pretty good. Okay, so let's open the package and see what you get and how this watch actually looks. Let's just rip all of this. Oh, there we go. Big outer cardboard box. Where do you open it? Here. Inside we get another box. Let's move this one away. There we go. So this is the outer box, made in cardboard with the Aerotec logo, done in this light blue. Let's open this one. Inside we have a leather one. This is where your papers are gonna be. Let's move this away. And here is the watch itself. The box has this felt material inside with the Aerotec logo here. And here is the watch. This one is done, like I said, in titanium, powered by the Miyota 9015, making it pretty slim. So this looks like an industrial diver, if you will. And this one is blacked out. There's also a silver ones that are bead blasted. This one does have a coating, and it's very, very light. And this one comes with this light blue dial. Very cool. It comes with this original handset. And pretty simple markers, applied logo at 12 and date at 6 o'clock. So like I said, it's a Miyota 9015. The watch itself is 40mm by 46 lug to lug, and it's only 12mm thick, including the crystal. The bezel seems pretty simple with no visible grips other than these indentations, so let's try it to see how hard it is to turn. Not hard at all. It comes with 120 clicks, and it has this, because of the finish, the bezel is pretty sticky. It doesn't like slide under your fingers. Very good. And the resistance is spot on. So it's smooth. It does have resistance, but not too much. Very nice bezel operation, and one that feels more sturdy than let's say the one on the Citizen I reviewed, the titanium Citizen. Although most titanium watches feel kind of like plastic or aluminum as you turn them, this one actually feels more like a steel bezel, so very well done. The watches will come on this ballistic nylon, which is a NATO, and I personally don't like NATOs, but what can you do? I would personally put this on a rubber strap or some kind of two-piece nylon strap, because I just don't like this when it elevates the watch off your wrist and you have this funny piece sticking out, especially if you have a smaller wrist like mine. Anyways, this is like the first impressions and unboxing, and I will be doing a full review after I spend some time with the watch to see it under macro and everything. But the dial does have a very interesting finish. It looks like sand, and as you can see, it's kind of glowing, or should I say shimmering under light, while this logo at 12 is very, very finely polished. Very cool. The hands are polished as well. Let's try to start the movement. Being a Miyota 9015, it beats at 28,800 BPH, comes with both hacking and hand winding, and naturally comes with a screwing crown because this is 200-meter water resistant. Very cool and very basic looking diver. I actually like this. Very minimalist. Okay, let's try to charge the Lume and see how it glows, and then I'll put it on my wrist. And that's pretty much it when it comes to this unboxing and first impressions. Now, when it comes to the prices, this one will retail for $459. However, if you join their Kickstarter campaign, I would advise you to do so if you like the watch, because then the price drops to $295, which is pretty cool for a titanium diver powered by a Miyota 9015, coming with a sapphire crystal on both the front and on the back. I'll show you after I put it on my wrist. So let's try to turn off the light to see how this thing glows. There we go. It has a super luminova, and the Lume is pretty decent, with the bezel being visibly weaker than the actual dial and the hands, but still pretty cool. Okay, that's it. So let's try to put it on my wrist, and then I'm going to show you the case back, because it comes with their signature case back or case back opening. Let me just strap this on. But at 40 and 46 it should look pretty good on my 6.7 inch wrist, except for the strap, which is something I just don't like on NATO's. Okay, so here it is on my 6.7 inch wrist. The watch itself doesn't overhang at all. It actually looks pretty cool, but this is the part that I hate about NATO, and I hate the fact that it raises the watch, although this one is pretty slim even with the NATO. So I would definitely change the strap if I was wearing this, because this is simply not my style. Okay, let's remove the NATO so you can get the idea of how their case back looks. But I will be putting detailed shots of it once I do the full review. And here's the case back, which is very cool in execution. It's like a diver's helmet with a little sapphire window where the glass would be on the helmet, and the actual specs are written on this lower part of the helmet. Very cool and very original. And this piece is also made of sapphire. I actually do like it. Like this, the watch does appear a lot smaller than with the NATO strap. Very cool. Anyways, that's it when it comes to this unboxing and first impressions. And like I said, stay tuned for the full review with macro shots and everything. And that's it. So thank you for watching. I hope you found this video interesting and useful. If you did, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.